Imagine you made an investment of 55,000 2 years ago, and now that same investment is worth 70.
If I have to wait 6 months for liquidity, is that really liquidity?
That item that was listed for $50,000 may have cleared for $47,000, but that is not displayed on the marketplace.
So you're making best use of time as I am trying to find a market for my timepiece.
Perceived value is different from liquidity. You could be anywhere in the world and you need like access to quick cash to access any opportunity at any point in time. You do not have to stress or worry about anything. So far you got your timepiece with you on your wrist, right? Brands like uncomfortable.Many, right, basically offers solutions globally, where it could be in America, it could be in Europe and all that. You just put a call through, right? Especially if I'm your advisor. We get to you wherever you are.
Where do you position yourself on that spectrum?
I position myself as someone representing uncomfortable.Many, and uncomfortable.Many positioned as a strategist in luxury asset investment and liquidation. So literally, I'm positioned right at the right place.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, I'm going to be touching on like another quick thing that I've had here for you particularly, right? Right. So I want to ask you a question, right? So when you invest in a timepiece worth $100,000 and all that, ideally, what kind of like feeling do you get with it? Like, ideally, if you're investing in a 100K worth timepiece and all that, like, what is usually your mindset towards that investment? Do you think of it as a long-time investment, something you want to hold on to, or do you think of it as something as you're probably looking to trade off, make some money off it? Because people have different reasons for investing, right? And having to speak with someone like yourselves also like give us an exposure into understanding more reasons why luxury watch collectors like yourself invest or collect watches, right? So I would like to know like the reason why someone like yourself would, whenever you make a decision, what are always like the reason behind your decisions? Because I know you've collected a lot of watches, especially with us. So I want to know like what are like the deep reasons.
So yeah, and I mean, like everybody, I have two different strategies because I'm thinking short term. I have kids that are in school, and so I need to invest in a way that I feel like I can get a return on my investment in a short amount of time. But also, I'm thinking as a family man for my wife and I retiring. So I'm thinking like 20 years down the road, and so how are things gonna grow or maintain their value over that time? So when it comes to investing in luxury, what makes the most sense as far as figuring for priorities in the current market? Like what things should I be thinking of?
Okay, so I think what you should be looking at, right, it should always be about a long time, basically. That's one thing I advise the most, right? You see, speaking about opportunities that having a liquid asset such as luxury watch can provide is the liquidity options that comes with it, right? You necessarily don't have to liquidate by selling outrightly. You can liquidate by accessing loan against the luxury timepiece, right? So, I mean, my position is to collect and invest for a very long time. And if for any
Legacy,
reason,
right?
exactly, and if for any reason, right, there is an instant need for like cash, to sort out some needs and all of that, right? I mean, I want to believe that, like before investing in a luxury timepiece, you already have like a different source of income, something where you make your money, different professions and all that. So, and of course, like opportunity could arise where you want to leverage on that opportunity to make some more money for yourselves, or you have some urgent financial needs that you want to take care of and all that. I'm more on the stand of assessing loan than liquidating outrightly. You understand what I'm saying? So get a real-time quick loan you need to solve the urgent financial need you got, you understand? Like, and then you make the money back, you understand, and then you can pay back your loan and you still maintain, the legacy and your luxury timepiece.
So it seems like it blends investing in luxury items and like luxury timepieces kind of blends flexibility with legacy.
Exactly. Like, and that is the part that I wish I can really speak more on, so a lot more people can really understand that, you see, luxury assets, right, gives this edge a lot than other asset class, right? Because of the mobility and then also the liquidity power it carries, right? Compared to real estate, stocks, and every other kind of assets. You understand what I'm saying? Due to the level of flexibility, right? You just mentioned of like you could be anywhere in the world and you need like access to quick cash to access any opportunity at any point in time. You do not have to stress or worry about anything. So far, you got your timepiece with you on your wrist, right? Brands like uncomfortable.Many, right, basically offers solutions globally. Where it could be in America, it could be in Europe and all that. You just put a call through, right? Especially if I'm your advisors and all that. We get to you wherever you are. You
Right.
understand? We get to you wherever you are,
Right over
provide
my
you
shoulder, right there.
exactly wherever you are in the world. We get to you and then we can provide you with the liquidity, understand, and ensure that you get access to that quick fund that you need to like solve that urgent financial need. And when you get your money back and all that, we are there available to like have your timepiece back to you in the same 100% condition, and you're back moving on. You understand, like
Comfort. So legacy, flexibility, comfort.
a lot more. Maybe you could add a lot to it. So I'm probably expecting you maybe gonna give me a call and say, "Oh, Mr. Lanni, I'm looking at closing about a deal worth about $2.5 million, and the total asset value you've got in terms of luxury watches are what about? Oh, okay, maybe about 2 million and all that." And you're asking me to give you the funds that you need to actually like leverage on that opportunity. I mean, because what we constantly look out for, right, is to provide loan, especially for all different category of people that have different needs, right? But I'm mostly excited when I hear about, you're trying to leverage on an opportunity like a business and all of those things and all that. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, sure, come on, guys. I mean, that shows guarantee that you're going to pay back the loan more. Like it stand more like higher chances, right? That okay, yeah, you're gonna like pay back the loan. So I'm of course, where are you at? I'm coming to you and all that. So I really can't wait to actually be in that position because there's also like misconception that people have wrongly. Like I mean, people who are still trying to like grow, coming up and all that. So they see debt as a wrong thing. They see debt as maybe a poor man thing and all that, and that's wrong, literally, right? Because the most successful people in the world actually leverage debt to build. Right? I personally leverage debt to actually build. Right? So one of the fastest way to grow wealth and to build is always about it's leveraging on other people's money, which is leveraging on debt. To leverage to actually take on opportunities, and so you can be able to like make money, you pay back your debt, you move on,
Yeah.
and so on.
There's a lot of talk about that these days. About like, wealthy people don't nearly really need to spend their own money. Wealthy people are borrowing against their equity. Is that a good move for me? Does that make a lot of sense? Is it, like how does somebody execute on a plan like that?
It is. I mean, absolutely, right? Because for me personally, I'm going to use myself as an example so you can have a vivid understanding of like what we're speaking about and all that. Equity comes in different forms, right? You could have the shares in a bank or in a company, shares in different things and all. Shares in even equity comes in forms of relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I personally started off by leveraging on relationships to actually, I mean, be in the position I am today, literally. Right? There have been times where I'm down to zero, nothing at all. And what I had was relationship equity, right? Yeah, because they say something about your network is your net worth, right? And it is
Yes.
really valid, basically, right? So, and because when you know the right people and you also have actually exhibit being the right person yourself in terms of your personality and character has been tested and you've proven that you can be a trustworthy person, your integrity is right up there. Relationship is always going to be an equity for you.
As a father of kids who are in university, that's how I tell them is like their whole future is based on the relationships that they make while they're in school. They're building their network that's going to follow them for the rest of their lives. Those relationships are so important to build, as you say, your own personal equity.
Exactly. So that is one type of equity that I've had to personally leverage on to get to where I'm at today. You understand what I'm saying? So I could remember starting off, it was about, hey, I've got a deal and it's gonna hand us this so amount in profit and all that. I just need you to wire me some amount of money. I close this deal, I'm going to be making so amount of money, and I'm going to be giving you so percentage and all that. And in no time, within an hour, 2 hours, you're getting the money, and you're able to like close the deal, or be able to like finalize whatever transaction or whatever it is you've got going. That's also an equity, right? So being someone who had experienced that, so I can say categorically that um, luxury watch, right, is what is one of the best kind of equity you can build for yourself. The collections of it, right? Because imagine when you sort of like have like a lot of watches at the time the money is coming in, and you are able to like invest in a lot of watches and all that, right? And then you also build relationship with someone like myself, a luxury asset investment and liquidity strategist, right? Well, the kind of the relationship you build with me helps you to be able to access liquidity at every point in time, at any time, wherever, anytime you need access to liquidity, right? Without having to speak to any third party or involving any third party, right? Just like you have relationship with your lawyer and doctors and all that. So that's kind of relationship you build with someone like myself. I'm Poncho by Blue Radish, right? To ensure that, we become that capital mobility connect that you need at every point in time to constantly like take on opportunities and all that. Like I said, you see, when you play the long time game, invest in legacy, and you don't even need to worry about the listed price and clearing price. The only thing you worry about is being able to like leverage on, being able to find more opportunities you can leverage on, because you already got an equity that is enough for you to be able to like make more money for yourself.
Build success upon success. I love that.
Exactly. So I would like to actually ask you one question, right? Because you being a collector yourself, right? So can you tell me what is the biggest financial mistake collectors make?
Well, this is something actually.
What you deem as financial mistake? I want to see these things from your perspective. Like,
Well, we've already talked a little bit about the perceived value versus actual intrinsic value. And I think that people believing their own hype about what they invest in is probably a pitfall that I would fall in, and that I would believe that what I have collected or what I have accrued is worth more than it really is. I think there's a lot of pitfalls out there as far as the person who was in the market to invest in some kind of product, but they don't necessarily do their research and they don't have enough background in what they're doing. That's why I want to talk to you about investing in luxury items. I want to get into luxury timepieces. I need to speak to an expert that has a lot of experience and has done a lot of research.
oh yeah, exactly. I think I did take that from you. So in a nutshell, what you're saying is that the financial mistake a lot of collectors make is not actually finding out a lot more about what they're about to invest in, acquiring the adequate knowledge and information before taking that step in towards investing in the luxury timepiece and all that.
Trying to get into investing from a position of weakness, from a position of ignorance, I think sets you up for failure. That's how I feel about it.
But what about if, okay, the question is about collectors, right? Because I wanted to reference people who buy watches just for the fashion value, the prestige it gives, and not really caring about it much as something they are collecting as valuables and they want to keep on the long time and all that. I think people like that are the ones who often make the biggest financial mistakes the most whenever they need to actually invest, right? Because literally, a luxury timepiece could serve all of these purposes. It could serve as a long-time value. It could serve as also the prestige you want to get. It could serve as the fashion value you actually have on your wrist, and the room you walk into, you get respected just because you have timepiece worth a lot of money on your wrist and all that. You could benefit from every single opportunities that investing in luxury timepiece have to offer, right? So, which means that regardless of your reason for investing in luxury timepiece, it is always important that you speak to an expert who understands the market, who understands how the luxury watch market operates, who has the adequate information and knowledge that can help you in making informed decision. Because regardless of your reason, right, you are spending money, right? Regardless of your reason, you have to like debit to actually put your money into something. And whatever it is you're putting your money into, let's use for instance, you want to buy a food. You want to know the food you buy. if it is safe for you to consume before buying it. Yes or no? So I use that name example just so I can give a clearer picture on. So regardless of the reason you may have to invest in luxury watch, even if it's just going to be a fashion timepiece and all that, I think it is still very, very much important that you speak to an expert, right? You learn from somebody, you get the right information, right? And one of the biggest challenges out there that I personally know of is that a lot of young people today who are actually looking to invest in timepiece think all they need to do is to trust a dealer, right? Someone who is out there into buying and selling watches. They do fail to realize that being a dealer doesn't make um, these people who are into buying and selling watches an expert when it comes to luxury watch investment and liquidity. There is a clear difference between being a luxury watch dealer and being a luxury asset investment and liquidity strategist. And that is exactly where Poncho Radish and someone like myself fall in, right? Because we spend day and night understanding how the luxury watch market operates, understanding liquidity, providing solutions for those who are actually interested in investing in luxury assets, profiting from investing in luxury assets, and being able to access real-time liquidity and understanding how the liquidity function such that they are able to stay ahead, right? Because literally, you don't want to be in a position where you are buying and then every single time you buy, you're losing outrightly. You're buying, and every single time you buy, you buy for a wrong purpose, and then you make the wrong decision, buy the wrong timepiece for a different purpose, right? Because literally, you may want to buy to hold on to like the value of your cash for a long time, and then at the end of the day, you end up buying a model that doesn't serve that purpose you intended for, right? So it is until you speak to a luxury asset investment and liquidity strategists like ourselves, we are able to advise you that if this is the reason why you want to purchase a luxury timepiece, this is what you should go for. A dealer wouldn't know that. A dealer only want to buy and sell. A dealer only want to sell, right? The worst case scenario is you're gonna ask them questions and, oh, is this okay for me to buy? Is this safe? And they'll say, yeah, yeah. They are not going to tell you no. Never, never, ever going to tell you no. They're always going to say, yeah, yeah, it's a good buy. It's this, that, and all that. And by the time you're going to say, oh, sorry, my boy, or the market has been really, really crazy and all of that, maybe you bought it for about $100,000 and they say, I'll probably give you for about $50,000. I have $50,000 cash I can give to you to buy.
You know, I want to, if I'm in the market for a luxury timepiece, and I mean, I find something that I like, I see it, it looks nice. I mean, a luxury timepiece, it's jewelry, it's going to attract the eye. But like, what's happening beneath the surface? And how do I find out more about the context of this thing that I want? Like, who do I go to for more background and more depth of knowledge for something that looks great, but maybe is going to stand the test of time, literally?
Yeah. So is it in terms of value or in terms of the authenticity?
Well, that's what I want to know, because like, what I want is something beautiful, but is it authentic? And is it actually beyond beautiful? Is it valuable? Will it maintain that value over time?
Right, so literally both the authenticity and also the value, right? And people like a luxury asset investment and liquidity strategies like ourselves are the right people to actually speak to, right? Because not only do we secure and protect luxury consumers from fake or items that could even I don't want to speak so much about that, right? But when I'm talking about fake, right? Fake necessarily doesn't mean a full clone, right? We have luxury watches that literally the exterior, the intricacies and all that are authentic, but whereas what goes inside is fake. Or we have watches where the engine, the calibers, the exteriors are authentic, but maybe it could be something as small as the needle that goes in between the links that is fake. It's a watch could be completely an authentic watch, and it could be that the clip that holds the bracelet together is fake. Like such watch in our own world is completely categorized as fake. You get what I'm saying, right? So that's the reason why I said I don't want to go in depth into that because it's a different conversation completely. So what people like ourselves do is protect you from such kind of situations where we ensure every single part of the timepiece down from the inside into cases, the calibers, the engine, the jewels, and the entire exteriors down to the bracelet, each every single link and all that, every single element down to 0.000, right? Is completely authentic, right? So while we protect you from that, we also then first understand the purpose of why you're buying, why you're purchasing. We want to understand if you're buying for a long time, if you're buying for value retention, if you're buying as just a fashion timepiece or whatever it is that you're buying for, then that helps us to be able to properly advise you on if that particular timepiece is the right one to go for.
Sounds like there's so much trust going into this relationship. Like, how do you build that kind of trust with other people that you deal with? How do you establish trust so that you can ensure your customer can ensure they're getting the best value for what they're investing in?
We do that through access, intelligence, and proof, right? So we create an opportunity where people can reach out to us, right? You could reach out to us simply just to get educated, just to get the right information, right? Not because you want to buy, just because you want to know about what the luxury market is like, or you want to know more about the particular model, the history, the performance, if it is a good buy or not, if at all, at any point in time you're ready to invest, you want to know, okay, how to go about investing in luxury timepiece for a different purpose. Punch Up by Blue Radish and someone like myself provide that access to every single person, both the old, the young, and any class, right? Intelligence, through moments like this, shows like this, and when the opportunity arises, we show to the world and express, what we are capable of, what we can do, how we can protect the luxury buyers from coming across fake items or being a victim to buying fake watches or buying or investing in watches that doesn't serve their purpose, literally, right? And then lastly, it's about creating an opportunity for people to actually directly deal with us, right? Where you can invest in this luxury asset directly through us. You can also like be able to achieve whatever goals you have around luxury and liquidity by, having us as your advisor, just like the way you would have your lawyer or you have your doctor, you have as your private, your personal advisors and stuff like that. And that doesn't cost anything, right? It's just about reaching out, communicating about your need and where you would like us to help you. And we are always there and ready to be there for you, right? Because aside from the business aspect of things, this is something that we are strongly passionate about. Every single luxury pawnbroker we have in our institution, right, are well trained to be able to like provide the best level of advisory for every single luxury watch enthusiast and collectors who are looking to like build a portfolio, invest, and master their act of investing in assets and also mastering the liquidity aspect of it for capital gains and growth, basically. So yeah, so I'm gonna be the one to like say this, right? Um, because I personally have a belief that it is important to often hear from the perspective of the consumers, collectors, and all of that. It's one of the reasons why we have you on this show. Right? It's not just for myself to talk, but also to really understand your own perspective about some certain things. So I'm gonna be asking you, right? Um, in my books, I classify you as a wealthy investor. I mean, for you to have invested in over $1.5 million worth of, luxury assets and all of that. So I want to ask you that. So what do wealthy investors understand that most people miss?
Well, I think we're talking a little bit about perception versus reality. And I think a wealthy investor is coming from a position where they have their assets built already. They're looking to extend, they're looking to explore new avenues for investment. So they have a certain level of confidence and flexibility on on where they put their money.
Okay. Okay. Sounds great. Sounds great. Sounds good. I like that, and I'm hoping that people are able to like get that information, learn from it, and make better decisions. Whenever they decide to actually like invest and all that. All right, Mr. Steve, it's so nice to have you here. I'm happy to like engage you on this conversation and all of that. And um, we all know that liquidity is the truth and the price is a story, right? The price you see out there doesn't necessarily, the perceived value doesn't necessarily mean the real value. The real value is like at the time you want to liquidate what you get, basically. All right. It's nice talking to you, like clearly, and then really looking forward to meeting with you again, and hopefully maybe you investing more in luxury timepieces, or we are providing you with liquidity to take on more opportunities and another. I'm so glad to have you here, and it's an honor to have you here today to speak to you. Thank you very much, Mr. Steve.
Thanks, Mr. Lanni. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.